right, guys, we got another video here. This one is woman gets rejected by a man on the first date and she can't handle it. Let's check it out.
And I'm about to go on a date. Wish me luck. More like wish him luck, right? I'll keep you posted. So the date started at 7:15. It is about 7:53 right now. So a little bit over a half hour. And then I had to walk out on the date. This is what happened. We got to talking about our personal lives, what do you do for work, relationships and things like that. And I talk about, oh yes, I was previously married and I have a child who's 8 years old, who I co-parent with my ex-husband and his wife. And then all of a sudden he started freaking out.
Well, I mean, single mother, red flag right there. So maybe that's probably why he started freaking out, but let's continue.
He started freaking out at the bar. We were at the Vault up in Pompano. He started freaking out and he's like, oh, you have a kid? And he says, oh, I can't date somebody who has a kid, like to my face.
Oh, you mean he tells you the truth as he learns about you in real time? Really? You guys didn't have that conversation before the date took place. So you try to be slick and get him to meet up and then think that, oh, it's going to be cool if I slide this in on him. That's just my assumption from the outside looking in. I could be wrong, but this is what I gathered from the conversation thus far, guys. So let's continue.
He's like, I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, excuse me?
That sounds like he is openly communicating not only this as a preference, but as a boundary. Like, he is clearly saying he doesn't date single moms. And as far as it being to your face, like, how else was he supposed to tell you?
Most dudes, a lot of guys, well, I would say, would just see where the night went. And if you told them that, even though they weren't interested in single mothers, would have just said, okay, let's just see where this goes. Because even though I don't want to deal with this woman and she didn't tell me this on the phone for whatever reason, I'm still going to try to hit. Okay. And then I'll disappear. And if I don't get to hit and nothing happens, then hey, no harm, no foul there either.
Like, not to your face? You're literally on a date.
He's like, I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, excuse me? And he starts making me feel like very uncomfortable. I'm like, nobody should ever make me feel like that, especially on a date. Are you kidding me?
Wow. So okay. See what I'm saying? She's completely clueless on what took place here. It's a me complex. It's all about her and how she feels and her comfortability and all of these things. Not even thinking at all about what the guy is thinking from his perspective, right?
We're at a nice bar.
How did you feel uncomfortable? Why did you feel uncomfortable? Because this man was openly communicating his boundary? That shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable unless you're just upset that he has that boundary and you're trying to shame him for having that boundary.
Anyway, so I had to walk out on this date because this guy said, I can't date somebody who has a kid. And I think you were very misleading in your profile. And I'm
Facts.
like, why? Because I didn't put a picture of my son in my profile?
No, because you didn't tell anyone that. And that's what a lot of them will do. They will hide things from you. And it goes both ways. But these are some of the tropes you have to deal with when you're dating out here, especially if you're dating older people, right? Because the probability of a lot of these women having kids is going to be astronomical, if I'm being honest. So if you're not ready or you're not trying to deal with that, you're already cutting out, 70% of the females out here that's trying to find somebody, guys.
Seriously?
Sounds like that's what happened. You misled him because you didn't tell him before the date. Doesn't mean that you needed to put it in your profile. I get that. But you didn't tell him. Like you could have texted him beforehand.
Like, there's a lot of pedophiles on those apps. I don't disclose that unless we're talking on the phone or if we meet in person.
As a woman, if you feel safe enough to go out on a date and meet this person one-on-one in real life, then you should feel safe enough to disclose that you have a child, okay? You don't need to give their name, their age, their address, their phone number. You don't need to give any of that. All you have to do is literally just say, oh, by the way, you know, I am a single mom. See, you know, if you want to continue getting to know me, just wanted to let you know that before we spend more time getting to know each other, before we go out on that first date. Just wanted to make sure that you'd be comfortable with that. And then, like, let him ask any questions at that point, you know, and then understand that they're valid questions, most likely. I mean, he shouldn't be throwing insults out at you.
I didn't hear any insults, but okay.
But if he has some questions, it's reasonable that he might have some concerns.
The guy is 40 years old. 40 years old. To think that you're going to date women who don't already have children, who have never been married, is absolutely absurd. Absurd.
I just mentioned it, guys, but there are women out here without kids and are wanting kids, and that's probably what he was looking for. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. And it's different for men than it is for women, especially when you're talking about age, right? A woman who's 40 years old and is trying to have kids is going to be a different story than a guy who's 40 years old trying to have kids. It just is. Guys will always be able to produce and women will not. Okay, by 40, those eggs are dried up and most likely they're not good anymore, or, you know, very rare. You know, you may have, you know, separate occurrences, but that's about as far as it goes, guys. Okay, so I don't agree when people come on here and say it's the same, because it literally isn't. It's scientifically proven that it's not. So, yeah. I
never hid anything. And quite frankly, I called him out at the bar and I'm just like, oh, so you don't like kids? He's like, oh, no, I like kids. I can't date somebody who has a kid. And I'm like, oh, you can't date somebody who has a kid? Maybe you should put in your profile that you don't like children.
You see what I'm saying? That's she drew her own conclusion from that. He's basically telling her, look, man, I don't want to raise another man's child. Right. That's not what I'm here for. You know, he wants his own family. What's wrong with that? And so he's trying to set his boundaries, just like women set their boundaries, right? They got to make over 100K. They got to be over 6 feet tall. They got to be handsome. They got to do this, da. So men can't have theirs. I see.
She's mad. She's like mad. So she is trying to shame the man because she's upset that he has that boundary, that he doesn't want to date a single mom. She's actually mad at him for having that boundary. Okay, this is one man. This is the problem, ladies. Like, you can't purposely not tell a man that you don't have a child, and then when you go out on that date and you find out that he does have that boundary, you can't be mad that he doesn't want to see past that and get to know you. Like, it's okay. It's okay for a man to reject you, but I get it. Like, women are not good with rejection, and here's an example, but what's not okay is you then shaming him, saying these things about him that you just don't like kids, to his face, and then also making a video about it and posting it, even though you're not showing the man. Like, you're giving details about where the date was, you're showing your drink, you're telling everyone where you were, where you live, and like, very quickly people can put 2 to 2 together and they can figure out who it is. But that's clearly not a concern because of how mad you are. You're mad.
Okay? That you're not even going to try to give us a chance because I have a wonderful, amazing 8-year-old son.
And that may be all fair and true, but it's not his wonderful, amazing 8-year-old son. Do you see where he's coming from? Right? Where is his father? Why aren't you with him? What happened between you guys? Why didn't you work it out? That's who you should really technically be with, if we're being honest. But you can't get mad at another man who doesn't want to raise somebody else's child, who doesn't want to do that. Okay? A lot of men, and especially in a fresh relationship, territorial, a little selfish, with time, maybe, right? You know, especially mothers with kids, a lot of men look at that as, okay, this is going to be, they're going to be dealing with this, dealing with that. So that's time away from me. That's time that, you know, I don't have to grow our relationship with. And on top of that, they're not even mine. So guys, I'm just keeping it real. I'm not trying to candy coat it here. This is just how the dating scene is. And this is what men see when they read these profiles and they talk to these women and they hear these things, because women say the same thing. I don't want men with kids, you know, depending on what it is, unless it's somebody they're attracted to, and then they'll move the goalpost, of course. But like I said, guys, it's a cesspool. It's a dirty game out here, and you just got to learn how to play it. You know, I'm just keeping it real. If she was a 9 or a 10, would that be different? It might possibly be different. Yeah. But she's not. So it is what it is. Just like it is what it is when men who are too short, or they're balding, or, you know, they don't have enough money in her eyes to, you know, date her. So it is what it is. That's just how the game goes. So if you're not willing to, I guess, per se, I guess, humble yourself in so many words, and I'm talking from, you know, the woman's perspective, this is what you get, right? And apparently this guy had options, because when he saw her and he heard what he heard, that wasn't going to keep him there. So he did what he did.
Okay. To me, that's not a family man. No.
Oh.
That man's looking to destroy, and I want no part of it.
What?
So I left him at the bar with his old fashioned.
You see how she's saying it and what she's saying? So she's putting it on him because she's got a kid out of wedlock, or she's got a kid and she's divorced or split and she's a single mom. She's literally blaming this guy because he has a preference and she's not it. Most men hear something like that, they're just going to walk away. Okay, you don't date guys with kids? Cool. And they just walk away most of the time. We just move on to the next thing. We don't have time to waste to jump on these platforms and do all these things. You don't see men, dozens of men doing this shit. This is all women, guys. I could just make content for years and years and years if I just go on Instagram or just go on TikTok with all of these women, unbeknownst to them, looking goofy as hell, talking about stuff that they have nothing and they know nothing about online, and really just exposing themselves. That's it. And making it more and more prevalent why most men now of today are not trying to date. They're fed up. They don't have the patience anymore. It's just too exhausting. And I'm a guy who's on the inside looking out. Been married for an extended period of time, but I still have eyes. And I still, are on the internet, and I'm still seeing these things, guys. And it's just, man, it's sad. It's sad. It's messed up. It's poisonous. It's toxic. It's a lot of these things. And words can't even describe how I feel about it.
So he can cry about it.
Oh, I don't think it could get any worse than that. She kind of went over the cliff there.
Yeah, she did. And because she did, I am going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for watching the content. And if you did like what you saw, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, because I drop content all the time on this channel. And with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.